Senator Malcolm Graham, thanks for being on the show this week.
It's a pleasure.
I've seen you balance in the debates and the committee and on the floor, sort of in between the concept of charter schools and whether or not to oppose or support the bill. But you supported the bill, ultimately. On a scale of 1 to 10, this bill having everything you want in it, how far did it come to accomplishing that?
I think a 6. You never get everything that you want, but clearly as I take a look at public education in North Carolina and how we deliver the service in the future, charter schools is definitely a part of that. They are innovative, they're flexible. There are a number of examples throughout the state, especially in my home district in Mecklenburg County, where charter schools have been an effective tool giving access to students to be a part of a greater education environment.
How do you think charter schools, as they start rolling out, you still got to get this through the House and get it signed by the governor, but if there's more charter schools in North Carolina, how will they affect the traditional public school district?
I want to create an environment where we institutionalize charter schools, where it's a part of the public offering. Just like public schools, we have charter schools. We don't want to take resources from public schools. That's not the intent. The intent is to have both of the entities, public and charter schools, model one another so we can gather best practices, give public schools some of the flexibility that charter school has, and create an environment where both institutions can strive and work side by side and institutionalize charter schools as a part of the public school offering.
What are you hearing back from public school superintendents or administrators in your district about the idea of more charter schools, an unlimited amount of charter schools possibly coming in?
Well, I think people realize that the Charter Commission, once it's established, is going to put some type of limits on the number of schools and the quality of the schools that they admit. And I think my administrators in Mecklenburg County, and I talked to a number of teachers and superintendents, all believe that, again, as we move forward, that there's an environment where charter schools can work side by side public schools. It doesn't have to be either or. Do
teachers see this as a possible opportunity to get a new job? Maybe they're tired with where they are. Are you hearing that? I mean, how does this work in the actual marketplace? Not only can parents put a student in a charter school eventually if this bill passes, but teachers can apply for jobs.
Well, teachers can apply for jobs, and as public school systems, because the budget cuts are now laying off teachers, laying off teachers' assistants, the proliferation of charter schools across North Carolina creates an opportunity for those teachers to be reemployed in the charter school setting. So again, it's just not one or the other, but providing opportunities and job opportunities for teachers and assistant teachers and counselors within that environment as well.
Could this change or public education reform, could it be a win-win for both the traditional public school and the charter? If so, how?
Because again, they can model from one another. I mean, charter schools have enormous flexibility, smaller class sizes. Some are doing extremely well, others are failing and they need to be dropped from the side. But still, I believe that public and charter schools, if they have the opportunity to work together, stealing best practices from one another, getting the type of instructions that charter schools are giving to their students in the public schools and vice versa. It's not either or from my perspective. How can we create a new environment in North Carolina where we can deliver public education differently, and a part of that different equation is charter schools and the charter school environment.
If there's any doubt in your mind about this possible reform coming to North Carolina, what would it be?
My biggest doubt is one that I wish we were able to get more specific language in the bill dealing with diversity, dealing with free and reduced lunch, and providing transportation for new charter schools. And secondly, my job and my goal is to try to, again, I use the same word over and over again, institutionalize charter schools. So it's just not charter schools and public schools, but those two entities coming together. I believe the governance structure may, be the linchpin that we have to come back later and kind of take a look at. We shouldn't have two dual systems, public and private. We need to have one education system in North Carolina that governs both public and charter schools.
Senator Graham, thanks for being on.
Appreciate the pleasure.